Hi friends, Miss Susie here with the December edition of STEM Club, STEAM Club I should say. Today we are going to be making candy houses, which is probably similar to a very popular holiday tradition of a gingerbread house. But we're going to do it a little differently and a little more simply with graham crackers. So if you've picked up your kit from the library, you will notice you have 2 packages of graham crackers to use. So you could actually share this with your brothers and sisters. This kit could actually be used across multiple family members, or you could make a really big house if you wanted to, or maybe you could even make your own little town. So you're going to get your graham crackers, you're going to get your vanilla frosting, you're going to get a bag of candy for decorating, of course, and you're also going to get some sprinkles in your kit, and of course some instructions to follow along with. So what I did to get started is I went ahead and got a little piece of cardboard, and I taped on some wax paper, and that's going to be my setting for my graham cracker house. This is where my house is going to sit. If you don't have something like this at home, you could just use a paper plate, or you could just use a regular plate to set your gingerbread house up on. I just did this as a little way to be a little less messy, and then we can put it on display afterward. Okay, so one of the first things that I recommend that you do is create your piping bag. If you want to do this, maybe you have a piping bag at home, you can always ask your parents about that. Or you can create your own with a sandwich bag. And honestly, I gave you a sandwich bag filled with candy, so you could always dump the candy out and use this if you want. Or you can just use a butter knife if that's easier. But the purpose of the piping bag is for the frosting. We're going to fill it with frosting. And this is going to be the glue that holds our house together, because we are little architects today. So I'm going to go ahead and open my frosting, icing, whatever you'd like to call it. Some other tools that I'm using while I'm doing this, I have some paper towels because we'll probably get sticky. I have some scissors because I'm going to need to cut off the corner of my piping bag. I have a rubber spatula to help me scoop the frosting. And I actually am using a sharp knife to cut apart my graham crackers. You don't have to do this, you could gently break them. You can use a less sharper knife, or with your parents' help, you could use a sharp knife, okay? Completely up to you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop some of the frosting into one portion of the bag. You don't have to scoop it all in, because you might want it for something else when you're decorating your candy house later. So I'm gonna start with just a scoop in the corner. And it's sticky, and that's okay. Just use the plastic of the bag to kind of scrape it off. You're going to seal your bag back up. You'll notice there's a little drop of frosting on the outside of my bag. That's a good time to sample it, because you want to make sure it tastes good while you're building your houses. And mine does taste good. Then you're going to squeeze the frosting down into one corner of the bag, okay? That's going to be where it's all going to come out. Then you're going to cut the corner off that bag. You can cut a little hole or a big hole. If you cut a big hole, more frosting is going to come out. If you cut a little hole, a little bit of frosting will come out. I cut a little hole because I don't want a lot all at once. And then once we break apart our graham crackers, you can use it just like you would a pen, except instead of writing, you're squeezing, okay? So now you're going to start with 2 full-size graham cracker pieces, and you're going to cut them in half. These are going to be the walls of our house, okay? So I'm going to take my sharp knife, and I'm going to carefully snap it in half. And there they be. And crumbs are fine. Crumbs can actually be decoration, especially depending on the type of candy house you want to build. Maybe you want yours to be a beach house. That could be sand. So think outside the box when you're building these. We're going to start by putting icing on 2 sides of the graham cracker. So on one of the long sides, you're just going to pipe it out like this. And one of the short sides. and that's actually wall number 1. Now what can we do with wall number 1? We're going to stick it right to our plate or to our pattern, whichever way you want it to go. I will stick mine this way for now. Okay. And then you'll notice, since we have some already on this side only needs it on the opposite. So again, a short side and a long side. And make sure that you are lining them up nice and easy there. Okay, press them together. And voila, we're starting our little house. So again, long side and short side. So I need to do this one. Come down like that. And one more. We will soon have 4 walls. Okay. And we now have the basic foundation of our candy house. Okay. So next we're going to move on to our roof. So to make the roof, we need 2 more graham crackers. We're going to cut them in half. And you have lots of graham crackers, so if some break or shatter while you're doing this, that's okay, because graham crackers are kind of flimsy. I'm sure gingerbread is much easier to work with, but I've only ever done it this way. So again, my crackers are cut in half, as you can see. So 2 halves are going to get set aside, just like your directions say. And see, Miss Susie has to read along with the directions too, so that I make it right. And then you'll notice in your directions it says, carefully, with an adult's help, cut the other 2 halves into triangles. And it says, see picture above. And there is a little picture on here that'll show you how to cut them into triangles. And so Miss Susie's just going to carefully try to do this. Oh, so see, that's 1 triangle. And then we have some extra pieces, which can be used as decoration later. And now we need another triangle. Triangle, triangle. So you can get an idea of what we're doing here. You could do a roof just like this, right? But then you're still going to have these triangle pieces in the middle of your house. So that was what the purpose of this is for. So what we're going to do is we're going to pipe the frosting on to make the roof stick, if that makes sense. So I'm actually going to start with the triangle. And it doesn't matter, you can put the frosting directly on the graham cracker triangle or on the graham cracker wall, whatever is easiest for you. I'll do 1 of each just to prove they both work. Both ways work. If your piping bag is running low on frosting, you should still have plenty left, so go ahead and give it a refill if you need to. Okay, so we've got our triangles up. The next thing is going to be adding our roof pieces gently, and you might want to let this dry for a minute before you start to add the roof pieces, because I'm seeing that this might be too much weight right now. So if we want to wait for a minute while these dry, which I think will be a good idea, what we'll go on to now is deciding what we want the rest of the house to look like. Because once you get your basic structure down, you can then start to decorate however you want to. And if you have more candies or more cookies or more frosting colors or more sprinkle colors and you want to use them, I highly encourage you to get out whatever you want to kind of customize your house and make it your own. So I'm going to start I'm going to make some snow around my house, which is actually just going to be more frosting, and it's going to make the base a little bit firmer. If you make some snow, and so you can pipe it right out however you'd like to. And I am running low, so I'm going to refill my bag. Oh, and you'll notice what just happened. So it's a good thing I didn't completely construct the roof yet, because that piece just fell over a little. So I'm not going to let you watch a whole video of me decorating, but I will decorate the whole thing and post it. I just wanted to show you guys the basic outline of how you can do this fun project at home with your family. So now that I've got some snow, put a little bit more up here. So the frosting is kind of like what if we were building a house? It's kind of like, well, a lot of people would say glue, but it's kind of like the cement that would hold your house together if you were building. And you don't have to build this exact house. You can build any house you want to. Use your own creative influence. If you have something better in mind or you know a better tip or trick, by all means, you should make the one that is your favorite for sure. Okay. So, let's refill this piping bag and see if we can get the walls, the roof to stand on our little house. Okay. Another nice big scoop. The good thing about a plastic bag is you can just scoop all the frosting right off your rubber spatula without much of a mess. If you have a real piping bag at home and your family lets you use it, that's even more fun and it's even more precise. If any of you come from families where moms and dads and grandmothers and aunts and uncles and grandfathers like to bake a lot, they probably have a pretty neat piping bag you could use. Okay, so I am now going to attempt to attach the roof and hope that it's all going to work out. So for the roof, you're actually going to want to put frosting on every side of it. You're probably thinking to yourself, where's the windows? Where's the doors? Well, pretty traditionally, you wouldn't want to cut something like that out of the graham cracker. That'd be hard to do. You can if you want to, though. What we'll actually do is we're going to, with our piping bag, we're going to go ahead and draw icing windows and icing doors. So if that's something that interests you, you could do that too. Okay, so here I am again. We're attaching our roof. Maybe you can make a house that mimics your house or your favorite place to be, because I know that we're not able to visit a lot of places that we'd like to this year. Okay, so now, not sure how it looks on that side, Miss Andrea.
It looks good.
All right, so this is our little candy house. And I'm still licking frosting off my fingers because I'm not going to waste it. So just to show you guys a little bit more of how you can do your windows and your door, I'll go ahead and pipe a little door on. I'm sure yours will look much better because I am not an artist, but I love artists. So there's my little door, and I think I'll put a little window up here. And you have sprinkles, at least 2 cups. Some of you might have a few more. So you can kind of just press your sprinkles on wherever is convenient for you. You can just use your fingers. You're going to be sticky when you do this. It's just the nature of the game. It's just what we do. We get sticky when we have fun sometimes. And so we will be almost done here. Just with my example. I'll build something a little better for you guys, like I said, and post the picture. But you get the general idea of what to do now. Okay. So I use a few sprinkles in your bag. You'll have a variety of candy. Not everybody's candy bag is the same. But you definitely have candy canes. Almost forgot what these were called for a second. And so I was thinking these would look neat at the front of your house by just kind of standing up there next to it. If you choose to make a holiday house, like I said, you can make any type of house your little heart desires. And voila, aside from decorating a little bit more, Miss Susie's candy house is near completion. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you very happy holidays. However you choose to celebrate, I wish you a safe and happy holiday season this year. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your candy house.